drink.
That's gotta be the beginning of the episode. I'm sorry. It's
big drink.
Big drink.
Big drink.
Big
dog. Big nuts.
Okay. I mean, that's not a very. I mean, it's not. It's like that's the beginning of the episode, and then we're just, we're still just getting our shit together. We're not really doing anything.
Well, let's start this. Let's start this one with a new segment. This is Eddie's.
What's your favorite Thunderbird?
What? Bunny. You mentioned that.
Yeah.
This is called Eddie's Cool Thing of the Week.
Okay. Oh. Okay. The Thunderbirds annual.
So, I got this today. I went into a charity shop or a thrift store, I guess, and I found, and my lovely fiance noticed it and noticed I'd been doing a Thunderbirds deep dive, and she was kind enough to buy it for me and surprise me with it.
What year is it from?
This is from, I love this when you open it up. Check this shit out.
Oh, look, there's the Thunderbirds.
Yep. So
and
when you
Thunderbird
open it up,
2 is the best.
There's that one there. That's the one.
It looks kind of like a clitoris. I don't have my glasses on.
Well, I mean, fair play. We need the representation because we've got two very phallic ones either side.
Yeah, that's true. Does it have a year?
Yeah, this is 1992.
92?
Well, here's the thing, right? This is why. Because it's from 1965, the show.
Yeah.
But around the early 90s, BBC acquired the rights to it and started re-airing it or something.
All right, it had another resurgence in popularity in the 90s. I guess that's probably where I know it from because I don't... Or it's probably my older brother. My older brother was into fucking everything like that.
Well, here's the crazy part, right? It's got an international rescue timeline, okay? And this was set in the far-off future. International Rescue's first mission is set to happen next year.
Oh, my God.
So it says here, you go through all of this stuff. 1970, Jeff Tracy is born. 1990, he joins the Air Force and has a bunch of kids and trains them to be kick-ass astronaut rescue dudes. And then some 60-odd years later, you have International Rescue doing their first ever... It's got comics in here. But another cool thing that I noticed was there was a half-completed crossword.
Oh.
And I thought to myself, well... I can't leave this incomplete. That would do my head in knowing that was incomplete. So
and a word search.
Yes. So if by any chance this specific and the word search as well, if anyone had a 1992 Thunderbirds annual and gave it away, if anybody by chance happens to be watching this. I took care of it, buddy. It's done. So that's Eddie's Cool Freaking Thing of the Week. I also got Europe's I'll Cry For You on CD single.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Man, that's... Yeah, I wish I found more cool stuff just going to thrift stores or going to record stores here because it seems like it's very rare that I find anything cool.
I've found... Bring a buddy who knows you very well because
that would be my wife.
Yeah, that's my fiance. Yeah. So bada boom, bada bing. Although I will say she did say, like in passing, she said, "Well, at least this stands as proof that you're probably never going to cheat on me."
Oh, that was good. That was good.
Yeah, she said, "You know what? This has made me very secure in my." Role.
but you're also in a rock band, so it's like best of both worlds. You're a bad boy, but you're also really interested in 60s marionette science fiction.
I'm into. I like a lot of weird shit. Yeah, dude. Straight up, There's like a box full of like Thunderbird stuff in the attic. I just need to go up and
along
get
with
it.
all the Doctor Who stuff.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Apparently, my kid is getting into Doctor Who now.
Oh, dude.
Starting with the beginning of the reboot, so early 2000s or whatever.
That's my generation right
But
now.
I don't know anything about that. My older brother does, so there's that part of me that goes, "Oh, should I start watching it just so I can just like talk about it?" But I don't know.
Dude, I'm gonna come right out and say it. Before there was metal for me, there was the Christopher Eccleston, David Tennant era of modern Doctor Who. It's worthwhile, is what I'm saying. Cool. It's you know, it's not. It's kind of like, you know, how the old Doctor Who is campy science fiction.
Yeah.
Like terrible effects, but they're charming.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's like the action movie good effects version of that. Like, there's still the quirky alien shit, but there's just something about it. There's a reason it defined my life before heavy metal came along.
Nice. There's the music came along very early for me. So I was trying to think about that. I was like, if I had to pick one like kid related franchise when I was young that was like my thing, it was probably the Ninja Turtles, maybe.
Yeah.
But
we're the Turtles.
Yeah.
You can count on us.
That's a banger.
That album is great. Coming out of our shell. You just know some mulleted Patrick Swayze lookalike was in a fucking booth when they recorded that.
Yeah, I just love the fact that you could only get that album at Pizza Hut, and that's where I got it from.
And now it's on streaming.
Yeah, I want some, because there's all these specialty like companies that do like nifty vinyl pressings of stuff that you would never like. There's what are they called? I get all their newsletters all the time, and I'm like, I can't think of it right now. But they do a lot of really good pressings, but they do like video game soundtrack stuff. Like soundtracks of things that like you never like. They've done like Ninja Turtle video game soundtrack vinyl releases. And I was like, surely they can figure out a way to get the masters for that Ninja Turtles album. And because I would gladly pay for a nice version of that. Anyway, because right now it's literally streaming or cassette. Those are the two. Those are the two options. Anyway, moving into the music thing, though, this is Cranked and Ranked, but today it is slashed and mashed.
We are doing some slashing. We're doing some mashing.
And usually the slashing and mashing involves like a double album or related albums or something that we kind of put together into one really great albums. But occasionally, and we've done this at least once that I know of, maybe more, we will compile. The dogs must be fucking around.
Just some backing vocals.
Yeah. We compile like a best of. I know we did the best of Chuck Mosley from Faith No More.
Yeah.
Have we done another one that's like a best of yet? Or is this the second one we've done?
I don't think so. I think all the others have been like, hey, these two albums slap. Let's make one ultimate
but
record.
For this one, we decided to do Layne Staley, the best of Layne Staley, or, you know, whatever. Whatever we decide this Layne Staley compilation is going to be, we decided that we wanted to do that, and it's I'm 100% down because there's like I listen to Alice in Chains a lot still, and it's become more and more apparent just how unique he was and what a huge fucking loss to music he was. I'll get into that too when we're talking about stuff, but I'm more talking about like modern day Alice in Chains, rebooted Alice in Chains with William Duvall, because as time has gone on and now the William Duvall version of Alice in Chains has been around longer than the original with Layne Staley, and I've had time with their music, their 4 albums that they've put out. I really like it. Those albums are going lower and lower in the appeal to me. Like, if I want to listen to Alice in Chains, I never grab one of those 4 more recent albums. And if I did, it would be Black Gives Way to Blue, because I think that's the best. But even then, just kind of comparing songs and everything, I just go, yeah, there's a magic that it really is gone. Like, as much as I really still like what Alice in Chains are doing, it's like a comparison between, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something like a fucking big old shiny diamond, and then just a nice looking rock. You know, the rock over here is like really cool looking, and you're like, wow, this rock's kind of cool. Why would nobody want this rock in their house? I'm like, well, this is
kind of shaped like a gun.
Yeah. And then over here, they're like, well, this is a fucking big ass diamond, and that's how I feel about it. Whereas, like, I like and enjoy the newer Alice in Chains, but it's becoming more where there's a huge wide divide for me, where I'm just like, yeah, it's making me miss him more and more.
Yeah,
and I had a similar experience. We'll get into that when we talk about Mad Season, but we'll get to that, because are we going to kind of go in order? Like, we'll go through the albums in order and kind of just choose songs from them. I'm gonna task you as the scorekeeper, or the
okay,
whatever.
Cool. Well, I've kind of undertaken this. I forgot to do it for Mad Season, but I know which 2 songs from Mad Season I would pick for this.
Yeah.
But I have listened to the album, and I love the album. I just forgot to include it in my notes.
Yeah, there's 2 that I would choose from Mad Season, and then there's another one that if you chose it, I'd be like, yeah, that's one that I would choose. But so anyway, the idea is that we'll go through all the stuff. We'll pick out the songs from a discussion, because it's really like, why are we including this? Is it just because this is one of their best songs and Layne sings on it, or is this a song that showcases his vocal range in a really great way? Or even better, and this is one that I took into account, did he write the fucking song? Because there's a few that he wrote.
Yeah.
And those are ones where I'm leaning heavily on those. And then there's they didn't really break up the writing credits on Mad Season, but there's one particular song that I chose that I'm like, I feel like Layne wrote this song. And so but we'll get there.
Yeah.
So we should start with Facelift. I brought all my records.
Cool.
So we can look at them. So people, look. The people are not in the podcast world, but you know.
This is probably the most challenging one as well, because Layne is so front and center and doing the power rock vocal thing. That, to me, there's no clear get rid of it song for me on Facelift. Like, there's other songs. There's songs on later albums where it's like, well, Jerry Cantrell's doing the lead vocals on this, so it would be weird to call it. Like, several from Jar of Flies and Tripod, that it's like, yeah, they were hits from the album, but Layne is backing. You know, he's not.
Yeah, there's no way we would do like Heaven Beside You, as much as I like that song. That for a best of Layne Staley, and we only do a set number of tracks, which we haven't discussed. That's just taking up space. Another great Layne song could go on.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
Well, let's look. So we got Facelift, which came out. What year was that? 1989? Is that 89?
1990.
1990. Yeah. Anyway, I think it was right on the cusp.
Yeah, so I think it was recorded 89 and released 90.
Yeah. We Die Young, Man in the Box, Sea of Sorrow, Bleed the Freak, I Can't Remember, Love, Hate, Love, It Ain't Like That, Sunshine, Put You Down, Confusion, I Know Something About You, Real Thing. This is my cool, this is an early 90s pressing from...
That's gold.
I think it's from Spain or something.
Wow.
Because the U.S. ones and UK ones, those things are fucking pricey, and so I ended up finding this one that's it's old school enough for me. But anyway.
Wow.
I'll just keep the glasses on, I guess, because I can't fucking read without them anyway. So, for just right out of the gate, we should just get this out of the way because I really feel that Man in the Box should be on there, and
for sure,
and not just because his vocal performance is great on it and it's iconic, but I feel like for pretty much most of us, that was our introduction to Layne Staley, was hearing that song. And for me, it was seeing that. The first time I saw that music video, I was like, holy fuck, this is awesome. And so I really think that that's kind of a given, even though it's an overplayed song, I know, and blah, blah, blah. But it's a great song. And I just think that, like, because that was the introduction that most people had to Layne, and it was such a powerful one, I feel like that's got to go on for sure.
I agree. I'm 100% with you. I've got it in green.
What about? We'll go backwards. What about We Die Young? How you feel about that?
We Die Young is cool, and he sounds great on it. But there's so many moments on Facelift that are just Layne absolutely belting, and I've had to go off of like what shows him off the most on Facelift. And you know, we're not necessarily grading this by the quality of the song. Like if I was to make an Alice in Chains compilation in any other context, We Die Young would be on it. You know?
There are a couple that I'm going to make the case for they need to go just because of how great of songs they are, but you know, we can discuss that obviously. I feel like we don't need to talk about how many songs until we've gotten to a point where we have a list, and then we can narrow it down from there. Because we make the fucking rules, and we could easily just say, all right, 12 tracks. But what happens if there's 13 that we really like? So So We Die Young, I'm okay with leaving off We Die Young just because I love it, and it's a really great opener.
Yeah. It kicks the fucking door in, dude.
Yeah. Sea of Sorrow isn't one that I'm that attached to.
It's one of those, like, it's a great song, and whenever I sing along to it in the car, I'm absolutely belting it. But it's sandwiched between Man in the Box and Bleed the fucking Freak, dude, which brings me to the next part. I feel like Bleed the Freak has to go on this because it's an outstanding fucking song, but you pretty much get a little bit of everything from Layne in that song. You get quiet Layne, you get snarling Layne that you get in We Die Young, but you also get belting Layne in the chorus. So I feel like if you want to get to know Layne's vocal style, Bleed the Freak is mandatory listening on this.
I agree. Plus, with Sea of Sorrow, the chorus of that song always kind of makes me giggle to myself just because it's all like, hollow, wallow, sorrow. It's very, like, writing it down, I'm all like, did you have to, like, be that? So it's like, it's really weird. Once the chorus keeps repeating, you're like, wallow, sorrow. It's, you know, a lot of awos on there or whatever.
Bottle of water. I drank a bottle of sparkling water. So for at this point, let's just put Man in the Box, and Bleed the Freak on there. Sweet.
I'm not like Bleed the Freak wasn't on my list to put on this, but you made a really great point, and I'm just like, oh yeah, you are right. It does kind of have all of his ranges on there. And then I can't remember. That's one that I love, but I almost feel like I love it just for the guitar riff. Yeah. And I tell you what, right? I feel like everything that happens on I Can't Remember is done 10 times better on Love, Hate, Love. Yes. Love, Hate, Love is on my list. That's one. Same. Good. Agreed. I feel like any self-respecting Layne Staley fan would be really mad at us if we didn't put Love, Hate, Love on this. Absolutely. There's that live performance that's iconic. I have the VHS behind me of the live at the, what is it? Live Facelift is what it's called. I don't remember where it is. It's somewhere in Seattle. I think they filmed it. Anyway. Yeah, Love Hate Love is fantastic, and that's one of those songs that I don't want to hear anybody else sing that song.
Yeah,
I don't care if you can sing the song. I don't want you to. Just full stop, no more.
Stay away.
That song is one that nobody touches, and in my opinion, you can do what you want, I guess. It Ain't Like That.
Oh,
same thing with the riff. I like the riff in it.
Yeah. A lot of it is quite a smoldering. There I was, laid down on a table. But then you get to the chorus and it's really belty. Yeah. But really, for me, this is a guitar standout track.
For real. Yeah.
Yeah. So I too am in the box of I'm in the box.
The man in the box is Eddie Sparxx.
Yes. After 35 years, we finally figured out who it's about. It's about a guy who was -8 at the time.
Yeah, wasn't even born. That's how great Layne Staley was. He was just like,
yeah,
there's going to be this guy. He's going to be born.
There's going to be this motherfucker that shows up around 98.
So yeah, we don't have to do in it like that, but I love that song. Sunshine, same thing. I really like Sunshine, but
here's my thing though.
Mm-hmm.
You get kind of sassy Layne in this. And then some dude came down to touch the mother.
Yeah.
Mother touch. I love the ain't no day the sun don't crack, just a brand some name across my back. Like, I love that bit so much. And then the
honestly, if we talk too much about each of these songs, I'm gonna be like, they should all go on the fucking thing.
Now, I feel like Sunshine's got an amazing chorus as well when it really opens up.
Yeah,
like, there's a lot of like vocalizing that's so unique to Layne in that song.
Yeah,
that it's pretty iconic. Should we put that one as like an amber for now?
Just all the ones that like. We don't decide we don't need that. Just put it on the list, and then we'll talk about them later. Put You Down is also not on my list. I was pretty picky with picking songs to make it a short list.
Oh yeah, like the main reason I've got quite a lot of insecurity about picking anything from Facelift is that it really is a vocal showcase album.
Yeah,
The highlight, I mean, Jerry sounds great, the band plays like crazy, and it's produced awesome.
Yeah.
But it's clear that vocally, this is the most power rock Layne Staley stuff out there. You know, it's very much Layne just belting. So yeah, Put You Down's not really on mine either.
Honestly, I just to move forward, Confusion and I Know Something About You were not on my list either.
I put Confusion down for the sake of the chorus because the chorus is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll put that one in. I'll put that one in amber for now, but I'll red out the other two.
So real thing I had on there, but I had Real Thing on my list for the same reason that you're talking about with Sunshine, because you get a little bit of attitude from Layne, and it's a really. And it's got, once this song kicks in, you have really great higher vocals from him, and then he brings it all down with just a few notches on my belt. Like he does all the shit in this song, and it's just got that great groove to it. Not to mention,
you're right, actually.
Not to mention, you get to, it ends with that sexual chocolate baby. I always really thought that was an amazing closer too.
Underrated, man.
Yeah. So I liked that, but you're right. I do like because that's pretty unique to this album, the kind of sassy Layne or whatever. You know, he doesn't do that. It's just this album and a few of these songs that you get. I guess you get some of that in I Know Something About You as well. But yeah, it's just a little bit of that. I don't know. It's like vocally, like I almost feel like, as much as like his vocals are fucking amazing on Dirt, on everything, I feel like that Facelift is I think you kind of said this, the biggest showcase of everything he could do is on this album. But at this point, he was not writing songs. He was just writing lyrics. So it gets more interesting for me once we get into the conversation about the songs that Layne wrote, because I don't know. So yeah, so what did we keep? Put Real Thing on the list. We'll talk about that when we get to the end. But How many did we keep from this album?
So far we've kept Man in the Box, Bleed the Freak, Love Hate Love, and the tracks that are up in the air are Sunshine, Confusion, and Real Thing.
So that's 6 total? Yeah. Okay. So that's Facelift, everybody. And that's I'm gonna go ahead and just like do the noble thing and say that like I don't think anything from Sap needs to be on this. I love Sap dearly. I love this fucking EP so much. And I love it even more now that people don't give it fucking respect. Yeah. But my favorite song on the EP is Got Me Wrong, and that's got a lot of Layne. It's Layne sings a good amount of it, but it's not like a big vocal song, and I can get why it's not a song that people like everybody loves, but I love it. So I don't know. How do you feel about the EP?
I think Sap, in stark contrast to its predecessor, Sap is so Jerry heavy that it would feel weird calling any of it. Yeah,
because he sings the verses on Brother.
Yeah.
And then Got Me Wrong is Layne, but then on the choruses Jerry sings.
Yeah.
Right Turn. Right Turn's mostly Layne.
Well, thing is, the Right Turn has is it? I think Jerry starts.
Oh no, Am I Inside is mostly Layne.
Sorry.
Right Turn is a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
So that one doesn't go either because it's
Alice in Mud Garden.
Yeah, Alice in Mud Garden. I always love the back cover image, how they're like peeing on some pictures of themselves. So, I mean, I'm okay with not putting anything. Which one would you choose from this EP if you have one?
Honestly, I would probably put Got Me Wrong, but the thing is, it's the two trading off. It's not exactly Layne at the front and center. So if we're putting this together to showcase Layne, I feel like we need to think about that.
Because we don't necessarily need to worry about representing every release from Alice in Chains because it's not about Alice in Chains. It's about Layne Staley. Yeah. So I'm cool with like just leaving Sap alone as its own thing. But
sorry, Sap.
But that brings us to Dirt, which I bought like multiple versions of the repress of this, and I don't even remember what colors I have. This one's red.
Nice.
Like the red one. I think I also have. There's another color I have too. And then anyway, so this is one of those albums where you read the fucking track list and it's just like Jesus Christ. Them Bones, Damn That River, Rain When I Die, Down in a Hole, Sick Man, Rooster, Junkhead, Dirt, Godsmack, Hate to Feel, Angry Chair, and Wood. So, I love the fact that I put my glasses on to read that like I haven't memorized all the fucking songs on that album.
Not to mention the absolute magnum opus Iron Gland.
Oh yeah, well it's not listed on the back because it's
yeah.
Originally the first CD version I had not only was Down in a Hole at the end of the album before Wood, but that track wasn't even listed. There was it wasn't called Iron Gland. It may have been called that in the liner notes. I don't really remember. But so I feel like I do like the fact that in the Dirt box set, I don't know if you noticed, but in the Dirt box set, the CD is the original running order. So Down in the Hole is before Wood. And I was like, nice touch, guys, but maybe you could include some goddamn extra music.
Yeah, I always like Down in a Hole near the end of the album. I feel like it's a great
It's so
penultimate
great
track.
right before Wood and right after Angry Chair. It's so perfect. But then it's like it became a hit and they moved it up. So, or at least I think that's the reason that they did it. I might be wrong. But
I don't know.
Okay, so here's the thing. Once again, Them Bones is a great opener, but I did not include it on my list.
I'm the same. And I'm someone who discovered Alice in Chains because of Them Bones, but it is entirely half Layne, half Jerry. It's harmonized all the way through, pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, Damn That River, I love that song.
Agreed.
I didn't include it because that's another one where I was thinking about what's my favorite part of that song. I'm like, the riff is my favorite part of that song. I love everything Layne does, but that it's fucking, that's pure class in riff writing right there.
Yeah.
So I didn't include that. I did include Rain When I Die. Okay,
Nice.
Cool. Because that is probably, I know, like, you know, everybody loves Love, Hate, Love, but I really think that Rain When I Die is my favorite Layne Staley vocal.
I think it's gonna rain.
So that
It's
so that thing right there, like he does, like, who else was doing vocal runs in rock music that, like, I mean, obviously I guess you could have somebody like Dio or somebody that would be doing stuff like that, but nothing that really comes to mind. But like Layne would write these things where he would take a word and
do something cool with
do
it.
all these acrobatics with it, you know, with all these different notes, sometimes going to places that, like, I don't think normal people would have been like, oh, we're going to go to that note there. No. So that's why I love that, just because it sounds great, but I'm always just like, man, like so many other vocalists would have been like, you know, did she call my name? Yeah, or some shit like that. But he they would have just added a whole bunch of fucking words. But he just did this thing. It's so amazing. That's just, to me, one of the best Layne Staley performances. But yeah, it's but we agree. So that's going on the fucking
Nice.
thing. I did not include Down in a Hole because that feels very Jerry to me.
Yeah, that's a good point. But there is the Down in a Hole when he really
Oh, fuck yeah. Once again, you pick out some part of the song, I'm going to be like, yep. It's great. It's great.
I'm gonna amber that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. So we get to a weird point here because I love Sick Man. Sick Man's one of my favorite Alice in Chains songs.
Yeah.
Just because it's fucking weird. And I love their fucking weird songs. But is it really that great for, like, just a Layne Staley song? You know? Like, it's great. Like, it's so weird. It's so weird to talk about a song he sings on and go, this one doesn't need to go. Because in reality, they all need to go.
Yeah.
They all go on a big fat fucking collection, but that's not what we're here for. Yeah. So did you choose Sick Man or no?
No. I think the thing you've got
You don't like the baby part. Isn't that what you said?
It's not that.
There's a baby noise.
Nah, it's not this one. I think what I think it is that this song is cool, and it's cool because it's weird.
Yeah.
But if you're stacking it up to some of the other tracks on the album, in terms of a song and the way it makes you feel, like, I love Sick Man for how fucking nuts it is. It's like, it's like their Mr. Bungle moment, you know? And I think it kind of foreshadows the kind of darker, weirder places they go on Tripod a little bit.
Yeah, agreed.
However, I just think that there's such a wealth of great on Dirt that I feel like wasting any space that could be occupied by the likes of Wood, for example, I feel like we really need to think about prioritizing the gold.
Yeah.
So
so we can leave Sick Man off, even though that it hurts my heart. But I really think that's a song where I could point at something that everybody in the band does that makes it fucking great. Even that simple little fill that Sean does, that before they go into that, I always just really liked that because I'm just like, oh, it's kind of cool how it's like, it's this kind of weird song, but it just gets accented by this little, and then they go back in. Rooster is not on my list.
Oh, I listened to it in the car.
Oh, it's fucking amazing.
And my case for it is that Layne, like according to the story of the band, he always felt really at home doing a bluesy sort of thing. Yeah, there's a lot of blues in Rooster, particularly in the vocal delivery, and like the understated bits where every now and again he'd throw in a little bit of grit to help me make it through, and these like simmering bits where it's kind of like, oh, we gonna go, no, we're coming back down, and then just
I can't disagree with any of that. So just put it on the list.
Okay, all right.
Put it into pizza. Have you seen that? The pizza. It's like an old VHS of Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen, and it's like them and their friends, and they're making a pizza, and then somebody took it and they slowed it way down.
Oh, so yeah, no, I have seen this.
Pizza. Yeah.
P-I-Z-Z-A. There's that really creepy girl, caramel coconut cream.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Cream flowing like waterfalls.
Yeah, man, I haven't thought about that in like 15 years.
I think about it every Friday because Friday is pizza day here, and I swear to God, in my head, I'm always like, "Give me pizza." It's let it rise like a souffle. But anyway,
man, it's a blast from the past.
Yep. All right, Junkhead. Junkhead seems like a given, but I also don't want to put it on this CD because it's a good song, but it almost seems like it's too easy. It's the one song that, like, you know, the most simple music listener can be like, this song's about drugs.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, you think?
Okay.
I like it, but I just feel like songwriting wise, it's not up there with a lot of other songs.
I definitely... I love the chorus, and I love that like guitar interlude. That da na 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 na.
Oh, hell yeah, hell yeah!
I think
once again, that's Jerry Cantrell. That's not Layne.
I actually think next to Wood, I think that might be my favorite moment on the album. But this, it's so hard though, isn't it? It's like it's we love this album start to finish.
Yeah.
It's like trying to figure out, you know. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm gonna agree. In the interest of making sure that Rooster gets on, I'm gonna axe Junkhead.
I also didn't put Dirt on there either.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because like all of the belty cool moments in that are twinned with Jerry. So
yeah. So I did put Godsmack on there. Because
I had Godsmack as a maybe, and if we're not doing Sick Man, we got to do Godsmack
because that's a vocal choice in the verses that nobody else would have made.
No,
and even though this song is responsible for creating a really shitty band, I am okay. I'm okay with the song Godsmack.
Don't let Callum hear you say that.
I do not. But they're not awful. I just think that a lot of those bands, like them and like Mudvayne and a handful of other bands, didn't deserve that level of success. They just deserve to like be kind of mid-level And, because none of their stuff's that good. First Mudvayne album's got some bangers on it, but after that, what do they got? I don't know. Obviously, the Mudvayne ranking is not coming anytime soon. I keep forgetting to bring it up. But I saw that Mark Smurl from Stick on the last episode commented, coming up the Ani DiFranco ranking, and it's because he and I were having a conversation, and he talked about liking Ani DiFranco, and we were talking about it, and I'm like, yeah, I don't like her at all. And he's like, it's even more of a reason why you guys should, because you've never ranked anything like her. You don't like her. What if you do? What if you get something out of it? And I'm like, it would be interesting, but it could just be an hour and a half of us shitting all over this poor woman who just wrote music that isn't intended for us anyway. Because it's like, as far as I know, it's like folky rock music. And
holy moly, I've got the discography up right now, and from the year 1990 through 96, there is an album every year. And then it transitions to pretty much an album every other year. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and with Utah Phillips, 22, 23.
That's a lot.
And there's EPs.
Mark, I know you're probably watching this, but that's a tall order.
Oh my god, man! And there's live albums as well. Fuck, man.
See, she has a huge career, and I've known people that really liked her. And to be fair, most of them are people that I thought were awful people. So,
oh man,
not all of them, but so that's why I've never really given her a shot. But that was the one that he brought up, and I'm like, maybe eventually we can start getting into stuff that is completely out of our wheelhouse. But I almost feel like we're doing a disservice to all the music that we would like to talk about. Anyway, we'll put that on the list, at the bottom.
Okay.
Right before Godsmack and Mudvayne.
Dude, can I do it before we continue? Cannot for the man you wonder.
That was good. Is that how he did it, you think?
Yeah, I think that's how he did it.
Yeah,
because he like that. Hey, man,
or that.
Yeah. That broke your back, you're under. That's how I've always sung it.
Oh man, it's so fucking cool.
Yeah. Is there any footage of him doing it live?
I don't think I've ever seen footage of them doing that song live.
That would be so cool.
Is it? Is there? Look it up on
Alice
YouTube real
in Chains
quick.
Were cool.
Yeah. Shut up, Beavis.
Fire! Hey, let me look it up. Godsmack, Alice in Chains live. Oh shit! There is Pro Shot Godsmack live at Hollywood Rock 1993.
Oh, shit! Okay. Didn't fucking Nirvana play that too? Hollywood? No, maybe they played that in '92.
I need to find out in real time right now.
That was a big ass festival, I think, over in Spain or somewhere like that is where that Hollywood Rock was. It wasn't in Hollywood.
Dude, I'm. Hold on. Here we go.
Okay.
I'm waiting for an ad to finish. Fuck off.
We're not gonna buy whatever it is until I see that one that I go, oh, I need some toilet paper.
Okay, so he doesn't do the wiggly thing live.
Okay, he just sings it normal.
Yeah,
okay.
But on the album, it sounds fucking cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once again, a testament to because it wasn't. I mean, other bands did interesting vocal stuff, but nobody does that kind of shit anymore. Nobody, especially not a band on a major label. Bands on major labels are playing it fucking safe most of the time.
Yeah,
and that bums me out.
That's why the '90s were the best for creative freedom, because the first half of the '90s, dude, you could record yourself shitting and it get on an album. Mr. Bungle did it.
They did. So the next two songs in a row were written by Layne Staley. Hate to Feel
Yeah.
and Angry Chair. I put them both on there because I think they're both fantastic songs, and I really think that the ones that he wrote, like the whole fucking song, that we should fucking put them on. We should honor
that. Yeah.
I don't know how you feel. If we had to choose one out of the two, I would choose Angry Chair, but they're both really good.
Fuck it. I say keep it. I've always loved Hate to Feel.
Okay.
And I always thought Hate to Feel didn't get brought up enough. I feel the same way about Hate to Feel that I do about Real Thing, that it's underrated as shit.
Yeah, yeah. And Angry Chair is just a fucking classic. So, oh shit. Hey, Sonny, do you guys just be quiet?
Listening to angry dogs.
I have two of them in my room. I have Melvin and Sonny in my room. Because
Melvin.
Yeah, they're the ones that like to hang out with me the most. Yeah. Anyway, Wood. So, Wood is one of my favorite songs in the history of music. Period. Like not just of the '90s, of music. It's probably in my top 10 of my favorite songs ever written. Yeah. But is it, do we put it on this thing?
I'm going to answer that for you. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
because there is Jerry vocals on it, but the way
Jerry sings like
two lines at the beginning. Lines. Yeah. Yeah. And then, but just Layne's voice coming in on that chorus is like one of the most beautiful things ever.
Yeah, and then
the ending shifting to a major key at the ending is also beautiful. It's just an amazing song.
Yeah,
and
okay. I would go as far as to say it's the greatest song of the '90s.
I mean, I can't really argue with that. Now I'm thinking about it, I can't really.
Like if someone were to claim that, I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I know you got Smells Like Teen Spirit. I know you got fucking, Enter Sandman. I know you got all these classics from the '90s, but I think Wood, personally, to me, the one that continues to stand the test of time. I tell you what, the thing with Wood is it hits me as hard now as it did when I first heard it when I was 14.
Yeah.
That's staying power right there.
To be honest, Teen Spirit still does that for me too. I know that's a highly overplayed song, but if I'm not expecting to hear it, just hanging out in the grocery store and it comes on, I'm always like, oh my God, this song's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Speaking of that,
I feel that way about Come As You Are.
My grocery store plays some fucking banger. We do our grocery shopping usually like Sunday morning before we do this show.
Yeah.
And like my wife and I are in there, and like it's like '90s radio in there. And we're just shopping today. What did I hear? I heard 3 songs I love in a row. You'll love where this goes. It starts, "Deeper Shade of Soul" by Urban Dance Squad.
No fucking way.
"Creep" by TLC.
Ooh.
And then "Plush" by Stone Temple Pilots. Like those songs, dude. Like they were all in a row, and I was just like, "Oh my God, this fucking is." Does this mean that like I'm old now? Like you gotta go to the grocery store and like they're playing this, but like every time I go there, they've got it on '90s radio, and sometimes it's like R&B heavy, which is cool because I like the '90s R&B. But occasionally you get those little gems thrown in. The rock gems of the '90s happen. And I'm just like, oh man, but that's a context where I hear those songs and I go, holy shit, this is fucking timeless music for me. Timeless.
Yeah, I can remember there were a few songs on the playlist that got played at the grocery store I used to work at. And every time they came on, I was like, okay, things are good for the next 4 minutes. Yeah. Things are slightly better than they were when fucking Firework by Katy Perry was on. So I
was just fucking leave a store at that point.
But it's like when you're in there and Africa by Toto comes on. Or fucking Horse with No Name, because I love that song. That one's on.
Well, that one doesn't do anything for me, but I get what you're saying.
But it's the San Andreas appeal for me. So
yeah.
whenever a song like that would show up, and it's like, oh, okay, it's almost, it's cool. It's cool.
Classic rock tunes don't do the same thing for me, but if it's a lesser played classic rock tune, I was somewhere and they played "Can't You Hear Me Knocking" by the Rolling Stones. I'm like, that doesn't get played on the fucking radio, and that's got that riff. It's a fucking banger of a song, and I'm like, wow. Every time I hear Rolling Stones in the store, it's always Satisfaction or something like that.
My experience in radio in this country has been consistently shit. It's shit. If there's one thing America does better than Britain, it's the fucking radio, dude.
Well, not really anymore. I mean, I guess I haven't listened to radio proper in a long time, but
dude, trust me.
Okay,
trust me on this. Okay.
Anyway, okay. So what did we keep from Dirt?
We've kept Rain When I Die, Rooster, Godsmack, Hate to Feel, Angry Chair, Wood, and we're up in the air about Down in the Hole. But I can get rid of Down in a Hole because it's pretty shared throughout, isn't it? If we're basing it on how shared is this with Jerry, that's a pretty 50-50 track. So, boom. Yeah. It's in the red, unfortunately.
Okay.
Sorry, Down in the Hole.
I mean, it's still a lot from Dirt we got to go through once we get to the end of this.
Off of the list, it is not going on the CD.
So that brings us to a lot of people's favorite, Jar of Flies. Very important one for me, too. A lot of nostalgia for me attached to this EP. So the track list: Rotten Apple, Nutshell, I Stay Away, No Excuses, Waylon Wasp, Don't Follow, and Swing on This. I love this little twofer. This is the music on vinyl version of it, so everything is like super well done and the sound is amazing.
I've got that one.
It's
great.
Anyway, so I didn't put Rotten Apple on there.
Okay, I do have it on here, but I have a pretty 50-50 split with this album.
Okay.
I'm going to come out. Yep.
I think the reason why I got rid of it is because I feel like Nutshell is a given because so many people love that fucking song, and Layne's performance of those vocals is beautiful, and I just feel like it has to go on here. But if we're still having a conversation about the best songs of the 90s, I Stay Away is one of my favorite songs of the 90s.
Yeah, and I've kept that one as well. I kept Rotten Apple, Nutshell, I Stay Away, and I've got Don't Follow is 50-50 because thing is the first half is Jerry leading it and the second half is Layne going absolutely off.
Yeah, I feel like Don't Follow is better in the sequence of this EP, kind of wrapping it up, leading into Swing on This. It doesn't seem like a good compilation track to me, but that's just me. But Nutshell and I Stay Away 100% need to go on here, but we can discuss the other ones because, I love, Rotten Apple's fucking great.
Yeah. But, I'm quite keen to keep it because it's got so many beautiful twisting harmonies on it that in isolation, they probably wouldn't sound as beautiful as they do as the sum of its parts.
That's an interesting song because, and I'm sure you've experienced this too. If you're just singing it in the car while it's playing, you find yourself hopping to different harmony parts.
Yeah.
Because you can kind of go all these different places in that chorus.
Yeah.
And it's pretty amazing. I mean, yeah, we can leave that on here. I don't want to keep Don't Follow just because I don't think it's as strong.
I needed a second opinion on it, but I'm dropping it as well. So basically, side A minus No Excuses is staying.
Yeah, I love No Excuses as well, but I had to
But it's Jerry. It's Jerry leading. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I Stay Away is an amazing, such a well written song.
Yeah.
And it's one thing, certain songs have an iconic moment, a moment that just gives you chills. And that song has two moments in it that do that. The first, just literally the beginning of the song with the guitar melody. And then once it gets to the I Stay Away part with the strings, I got chills now just thinking about it. So it's like just literally that, pretty much that entire song is just me like in awe of how amazing they were as songwriters and performers and all that shit. So anyway, yes, queen. Am I done with my coffee? Yep.
So as we approach Tripod, I'm going to come out and say it. Grind, Heaven Beside You, and Over Now are not going on there. Because they are...
Oh, yeah. I didn't put those on my list either.
Yeah, because Layne is background at most.
It's a bootleg, but it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Super good quality, too. This was one that I just found, like some store was selling it.
Wow.
And I did some research on reviews of it, and I was like, I at this point I was like, are they going to ever release this on vinyl? And I want it so badly, so I got this boot version. But it's like, if you looked at this up close, you would never fucking know it's a bootleg. It is amazing quality.
Yeah.
Anyway, song list.
Be able to tell.
Song list from Tripod or self-titled: Grind, Brush Away, Sludge Factory, Heaven Beside You, Head Creeps, Again, Shame in You, God Am, So Close, Nothing Song, Frogs, and Over Now. Okay. So yeah, I'm with you. Grind doesn't need to go. Mm-hmm. I would say Brush Away doesn't need to go either.
Okay. I was on the fence about Brush Away because there are some cool Layne moments, but
I don't know if my stomach noises are loud enough to pick up on the thing.
That was your stomach? I thought that was a car.
No, that was my stomach, because I finished my coffee and now my stomach's like, coffee.
Oh, dude, I had last night. I was laying in bed and I went to roll over and I did the loudest joint click of my entire life. I must have been laying funny, and the way your fucking femur joins to your pelvis.
Yeah.
I just rolled over a certain way and the loudest, like two halves of a coconut going together. It just went like that. And Amy rolled over and said, "What the fuck was that? Did you break the bed?" I said, "No, that was my leg."
Check to see if it's still attached.
Yeah, I actually was concerned about it. I was like, "Oh fuck, did I just dislocate something?" Thankfully, I hadn't. Yeah.
So on this one, I ended up putting. I honestly only included 2 songs from this album as for sure songs.
Okay.
So Sludge Factory, I like Sludge Factory, but I didn't include it.
Okay.
Obviously, neither Heaven Beside You. Head Creeps I did, because Head Creeps, if I remember right, is a Layne Staley. Is I think probably the only song that he totally wrote on this album.
All right, that changes the game a little bit. So
let me double check that, because I'm pretty sure if that's Alice in Chains. I'm so bad. My thumbs. What do your thumbs always just hit the wrong letters?
Yeah, I've found that it's gotten worse over the years. Yeah. I remember, I don't think it's a precision thing on my end either, because I know a poor craftsman blames his tools. But I mean, I remember being completely haphazard in the beginning, and it was fucking excellent. And now when I go to type on the phone, it's like it'll autocorrect to something that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yes.
Yes. I had one the other day. It was like, "Hey, I'm going. I'm at the KFC down the road. I'll be back at the venue in a moment." And it did it to, "Hey, yogurt something penfold head," or some ridiculous fucking thing,
and send.
Yeah. Sometimes I do, and I follow it with, "Tell me how this makes any sense compared to what I was trying to say." Sometimes I send it on purpose and just be like, "This is what autocorrect thought art was saying.
Yeah, the thing that sucks is that if I just use the voice thing and talk into it, it does it perfectly. But I don't want to be that douchebag that's in public like, remember to buy eggs tomorrow. I don't want to do that. Anyway, yes, Head Creeps is the one song on the album that is totally a Layne Staley song.
Okay, that changes things.
And I
then.
fucking love it. So
Cool.
Again, is a banger, but it doesn't seem like a good Layne Staley showcase.
Let's keep it as a maybe then for now. The big thing I kept Sludge Factory because there's something cool on it that I didn't hear in any other stuff coming up. Is that your weapon is guilt?
Oh, yeah,
Like some of this stuff on this song is Layne is most haunting,
and it's like it's almost like psychedelic. This song,
yeah. You insult me in my house, you're forgiven this time. Yeah, I love all of that stuff. And the harmonies on it are really weaving. I'll put it as a maybe.
Okay, yeah.
Again, I kept. Because, like, there's so many long, sustained, winding notes that... And this album has really grown on me over the years.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
This was the album that was like the least accessible to me as like a starting fan of Alice in Chains. Like, I liked Dirt and Facelift a lot.
Yeah.
But it took me a while to get into this one. But
yeah,
it's like most mid-90s albums are just growers for me, I guess.
At the end of, with hindsight, with now, 30 years since this album came out, it's become one of those things like it is with me and a lot of my favorite bands where I love Dirt because they did Facelift and then they went to Dirt. I love this album because they did Dirt, and then I love Dirt because they did Tripod. Like the literally all the EPs and all the albums they did, the different sort of presentations of the Alice in Chains sound that you get is what, like, I would not change this discography for anything because it's fucking perfect. Starting with Facelift and ending with this, everything's perfect because it's like I feel like I'm a fucking broken record, but I don't want the same album over and over again. And even though, depending on my mood, like the Tripod album is not the go-to Alice in Chains album for me, but I just love that it exists, and it makes their discography of this era, of the Layne Staley era, so perfect because I love when bands fucking do that. I was thinking about that the other night because I decided I wanted to listen to the old Pearl Jam stuff, and I listened to 10, and that's another one. I was listening to 10, and I was that album makes me feel like I'm in junior high in like the 8th grade again, but. It was the first time in a long time that I literally just sat and listened to Jeremy. And
yeah,
I was just like, holy fuck. Like, I had totally just sort of written that song off because I heard it so many times. I'm just like, what a fucking amazing song that is.
Yeah.
And
there's so many changes in it as well.
But anyway, then you move on to Versus, which is the one I listened to. I think it was Friday night. I listened to that one. And the whole time I'm just like, this album is amazing because of 10. And if they didn't do 10 the way they did, and they didn't do Versus the way they did, that's why their first handful of albums are so fucking great, because they did high quality shit, but they didn't just fucking spoon feed you the same shit or make the same album again. And I love it. I wish bands did that more often. It just makes me so happy to just, and I love it too, because like you'll get those conflicting opinions where somebody else is like, they never did a good album again after 10, and I'm just like, that's a weird opinion, but it also makes me love Versus and Vitology so much more, because now I'm like, oh, those are amazing albums that some people are like, fuck Versus and Vitology, and I'm like, I don't know what you've been smoking, but okay. Same thing with this one. Some people fucking hate Tripod. They just think it's a way less good album. And sure, I guess, in our rankings, I probably would put this one below the previous two, barely. But sorry, I don't know. I just go off on my tangents about these.
Hey, that's all right, dude.
because I love there's the albums that do something for me and make me love a band even more, and then I just see that they don't really get the respect that I think that they deserve. It just makes me just want to like talk about them on every episode. Like I'm just going to talk about Saint Anger again for like an hour now too, because I'm just like stop being assholes about that album. So anyway, so what did we? Where are we on this one?
So again.
So we'll keep again just because it's a banger, and we'll discuss it later once we have the whole list.
Now, here's another one immediately followed by Shaming You. I kept Shaming You.
I was going to keep that one because vocally it's interesting.
Yeah. I'll put it as a maybe.
Yeah, because that's one where I'm just like when we're having to cut songs, and I was thinking about like. Because when I ended up making my list of songs that I wanted to keep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it was 14 songs already. So I was just trying to like figure out, well, what can I cut? Because then right after Shaman You is Goddamn, which is 100% going on this fucking compilation. I hope you agree with me on that.
Yeah.
Because I love Goddamn. It's just amazing. And there's an amazing...
Feel like my goddamn.
And there's that performance of that song on the live album, the one that's like the compilation of live stuff. And that's a fucking great live performance too. I just love, Goddamn is such a kind of odd, but also really powerful song.
Yeah.
So Close is great, but I don't think it necessarily needs to be on this.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
The one song that it hurt me to cut is Nothing Song, because I love Nothing Song so much, but I had to
song stick to your mouth like peanut butter on the brain. You're late. Like it's just so cool.
Yeah, it's great. And just the juxtaposition between the two parts of the song, the back and forth of the verses and the chorus or whatever, it's so good, man. I just miss music for weirdos, because there's who makes music for weirdos now, you know?
Yeah.
Especially in the world of like major label popular rock music. Although rock music, saying popular rock music, that doesn't really exist anymore. But like, where's the weirdo representation with those songs where normal people are going to hear it and go, why did they do a song like that? I'm just like, oh, yes, thank you.
Now, I'm going to try and take fucking Sage to strange new places.
Yeah.
Fucking number 9. It's just going to be Revolution number 9, but with Big Smoke instead.
Oh, yeah. So did you put Nothing Song on there or no on your list?
No, I didn't put Nothing Song.
Yeah, I love it, but I don't think it really needs to go. And then really Frogs and Over Now, both, I didn't put them on my list either, because it's like Frogs is good, but I feel like it's better as an album track and not really as a compilation track.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you.
Over Now is just all Jerry, I believe. Does Layne sing at all on Over Now, or does he do the harmonies on the chorus?
Not as far as I know. Not if I remember.
Yeah,
I know he does some on Grind. I don't think he's on Heaven Beside You. Well, he is a little bit.
Yeah,
but
he's on the chorus of Heaven Beside You.
Yeah.
So anyway, amazing album. Hard to choose songs from this one though, just because. Vocally
it's a
speaking,
weird one.
Yeah, it is weird, and it's but there's also weird stuff on Dirt that I feel like vocally speaking is much more impressive. But so what did we keep from Tripod?
So in total, I've got Grind, Brush Away, no. Sludge Factory is a maybe. Heaven Beside You is a no. Head Creeps is yes. Again is yes. Shaming You was a maybe. Goddamn is a yes, and So Close Enough and Some Frogs Over Now is no.
Okay.
So interesting case where it's the mid-album tracks on this that stood out for Layne the most. So which leaves us with
Mad Season.
Mad Season. Nice.
Which is so Mad Season with
I stand corrected. Sorry, I have 3 songs from this. Earlier I said there was 2. There's 3.
Okay.
Songs from this I picked
with Mike McCready and other people.
Yes.
Apologies to the who is it? Who else died in this band? The bass player or the drummer? One of the two of them also passed away. Not to mention Mark Lanigan, who makes appearances on this album, but
John Baker Saunders.
Who was he? Was he the bass player?
He was the bass player.
Okay.
Died January 15th, 1999. Man.
Yeah. So like, yeah. Anyway, so here's the track listing of Mad Season. Wake Up, X-Ray Mind, River of Deceit, I'm Above, Artificial Red, Lifeless Dead, I Don't Know Anything, Long Gone Day, November Hotel, All Alone. This version that I have has extra songs. This is what I was going to talk about. I was listening to this, and the way that the track listing goes, the proper album ends, and then there's a song at the end of the side that's from a later recording where Mark Lanigan is the singer. Because they recorded a few songs because they were going to try to continue the band without Layne, because Layne wasn't reliable. And I have to admit, as much as I love, Mark Lanigan's great. Screaming Trees, great. I love a lot of Mark Lanigan's solo stuff as well. But listening to the Mad Season album, it's cool when Mark Lanigan shows up on a couple tracks. But once it switched over and he was the only singer, I was just like, ugh. I don't want this. I don't want this at all. And it really drove home like how much I love Layne Staley as a singer, because all of a sudden I was just like, that's how you know Layne Staley is amazing. When Mark Lanigan is singing and you're like, no thanks. Because like that dude fucking rules also. But I was so just like, I'm okay with never listening to those songs ever again. The Mark Lanigan Mad Season ones.
Wow.
But anyway, so let's go through the track list. So Wake Up is, I didn't choose this song. This is the one that I'm like, if you chose it, I'm cool with it because I think it's great. I just don't know if it's compilation great.
I kept it because there's a lot of like vocal acrobatics on this album that he doesn't really do on Tripod.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to hear that he's still got that range for this time period.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the same time period. Isn't this also 95?
Yeah, they're both 95. It's just that, it was around this time that Layne started to become in a really bad way.
Well, I'm pretty sure, I might be wrong, but I think he was in the middle of trying to get clean when this whole project was being done.
Right.
And then I think that failed. I mean, clearly it failed. Right. But I might be wrong. I don't know but I've always listened to this album, and Layne always seems to sound like he had a clarity to him where I feel like, oh, maybe he was putting in the effort at this point, and then it didn't stick, I don't know. But Wake Up's an amazing song. I did not include X-Ray Mind.
Okay. Yeah, neither did I.
River of Deceit was an easy one for me because it's just a beautiful song, and I love a softer song with Layne singing that doesn't have any like rise. Like even like the acoustic Alice in Chains, I feel like a lot of those songs have a big part to it, but River of Deceit is just mellow the whole song, and I love that. Being able to hear that. That's my favorite thing about the Mad Season album is the fact that the way that the music is played, and there's not like shitloads of distortion on the guitars for the most part. It really allows Layne's voice to just kind of soar over the top of everything.
Yeah.
And I really like that. I'm Above, I did not include. I'm pretty sure because isn't that one has Mark Lanigan singing on it, I believe.
Yep, that's a Mark Lanigan one.
And Artificial Red, So I really like this song.
Yep.
No, Artificial Red is the one with Lanigan, isn't it?
No, I'm
I'm
above.
getting everything mixed up now. No, Artificial Red is good, but I didn't include it.
Okay.
Because Lifeless Dead is the one that I really like, but I didn't know if it was necessarily needed on this compilation.
I'm gonna say now that from now on, the only other thing I've picked is I Don't Know Anything.
Which is the one that I'm convinced was written by Layne Staley.
Yeah. I'll have a quick little look at that
Because if you listen to the songs that he wrote,
yeah, it's very. There's
yeah,
it there that little bend in there reminds me of boom 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 boom.
yeah. But also
So, like,
because when you saw him play it live, he played guitar, which lead me to believe that he wrote that song.
yeah.
So I Don't Know Anything should go for sure. But Lifeless Dead is like it's such a fucking. It's such a cool vibe in that song, but I feel like we don't need to include a whole bunch of Mad Season, because if we do like a couple tracks or 3 tracks, if we did Wake Up, River Deceit, and I Don't Know Anything, I feel like that's a pretty good representation of this album, because once you get past I Don't Know Anything, Long Gone Day is good, but once again I believe Lanigan is prominent, not prominent, but he's on there. November Hotel is not really a song, and then All Alone is good, but I don't know if it's compilation good. Taking it out of context of the album. I feel like I'm just taking over this whole thing. Do you have thoughts?
No, I think you're right to do so, because pretty much, I mean, I've listened to the Mad Season album only a few times, and I need to listen to it. I need to listen to it more, really, because I remember the first time I ever heard it, it was on a dubbed cassette, and I was like, I didn't know what Mad Season was, and I was like, is that fucking Layne Staley? And then I was listening along to it, and I was like, what is this? This is like Pearl Jam with. Do I have some sort of portal to an alternate timeline? I really freaked out the first time I listened to it, because I was going through like a box of tapes that once belonged to my uncle, and as I was going through them, I was like, this is some time travel shit or something. The butterfly effect shit going on here. I had no idea at the time that Mad Season was a thing, so I was like, what is happening? Yeah. So when I found out, I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, I mean, I got to be in the mood for Mad Season, except for I Don't Know Anything. I always love that song.
Yeah.
But it's a very unique album, and I think a good amount of the tracks on it work well on the album.
Yeah.
But even Wake Up, just because Wake Up is long, but I'm fine with that being on the compilation. So what did we decide? What were the 100% going from this one?
It was Wake Up, River of Deceit, and I Don't Know Anything.
Yeah.
Cool.
With I Don't Know Anything for sure, because I would like to include the ones that, even though I don't know 100% that Layne wrote that song, it just feels like a Layne song to me.
Yeah. Let me look it up, actually. Was it
all the things I can find on the album, it's credited to Mad Season.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it's not the songs aren't credited to individual writers, except for I think lyrically. I might be wrong though, but
let me have a look. Yeah, don't know how reliable this is. I've just put it into Chat GPT.
Yeah, I use that a lot too.
Let's have a look here. Seasons not bonus tracks. Blah blah blah. Okay, it's done a really good thing here where it's done a summary.
Oh, nice. Thanks, chat.
So Wake Up did lyrics, Extra Mind full lyrics, River of Deceit lyrics, I'm Above duet with Lanigan, Artificial Red Life. So I Don't Know Anything full lyrics. Now that doesn't confirm musical. I think it says here. What did it say? Dun, 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 dun. Mike McCready composed most of the music, so I think it's entirely possible that Layne wrote fucking I don't know anything.
Because that does not sound like a Mike McCready riff.
No, it doesn't. It's got much more in common with the likes of Alice in Chains. So
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, okay. So that's hey, just relax, buddy. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up. We got to like now narrow it down to the tracks that are going on this list. Okay. All right. So how many songs does that leave left? It seems like a lot.
Yeah. Let's figure this out, and I feel like to heighten the stakes a bit, should we impose a track limit?
Yeah. What do you think? So we're talking the 1990s, so let's be kind to ourselves and say 14. But that's my suggestion.
All right. Okay.
Because there were a lot of 14-track albums around the mid 90s.
That's a fair comment. Let's have a look at what we've got. So for definite, we've got. Actually, I'll just go through all of the yes and maybe tracks. So Man in the Box, Keeper, Bleed the Freak, Keeper, Love Hate Love, Keeper, Sunshine, Confusion, and Real Thing or Maybe. Nothing off of Sap. Dirt has Rain When I Die, Rooster, Godsmack, Hate to Feel, Angry Chair, and Wood. They're all keepers.
Okay.
Jar of Flies has Rotten Apple, Nutshell, and I Stay Away. Nothing else. Alice in Chains, Tripod. The maybes are Sludge Factory and Shaming You. And the yeses are Head Creeps Again and Goddamn. And the Mad Season ones are Wake Up, River of Deceit, and I Don't Know Anything.
So right now that's 18 yeses.
Okay.
And not to mention the ones that were maybes. So
there are some lengthy tracks. Should we try and cut it down to 12? Try and tighten it up?
Oh shit. Okay, let's do it. That means we gotta start cutting songs. So let's just cut it down to 12.
Well, to be fair, we have, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybes. So should we just axe all the maybes?
Yep. Get rid of the maybes.
Right. Let's have a look here. So we got to sequence this fucker too. So
this is the fun part, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
don't you love it?
This is the best part. This is my favorite part always. Just putting them in the right order. Right. So to recap, the songs we have at this point are. You ready to start counting?
Okay. I'm pretty sure it's 18. I counted last time.
Yeah. Well, no. This is now that we've got rid of all the maybes.
No, I just counted the definites, but let's do it again.
Okay, here we go. So, Man in the Box, Bleed the Freak, Love Hate Love. We have Rain When I Die, Rooster, Godsmack, Hate to Feel, Angry Chair, Wood, Rotten Apple, Nutshell, I Stay Away, Head Creeps, Again, Goddamn, Wake Up, River of Deceit, and I Don't Know Anything. Okay. So that is
18.
18. Cool. So now that we've got 18.
I haven't tried this in a long time. Does it still do this? What? It doesn't do it anymore.
Did they do it for me? I'd fucking laugh so hard if I had it now.
Oh man, I'm gonna hold on. What's going on here?
What the fuck?
Oh, I turned them off. That's why.
Oh, okay.
It's probably because I was doing other things like interviews with musicians. All of a sudden things would go off and I'd be like, sorry guys, I really am a professional. So 18 tracks. Dude. So we have to axe math. Is that 7? 6.
No, 6, yeah. Hey, shit, dude.
Sonny, quit chewing on... Sonny likes chewing on the corners of the walls. Sonny! That's not what that's for, dude. Jeez. That's like there's this little thing. That's why, like, you go into some people's houses and you're like, oh, you're a dog owner. I can tell because you got little chewed corners and all kinds of other things. It's just part of the charm of a dog owner house.
Oh shit. Oh man. So this is tricky. So I'm gonna have to.
It's tricky to rock around. That's right. On time is tricky.
Okay. So let's get final track list.
Okay.
So, bada boom, bada bing.
So okay. I'm just off the top of my head. Just go ahead and put Wood on there because that's
Of course.
100%.
Now, are we closing everything out with Wood? Because Wood is such a great closer.
Sure, yeah. I can't think of one. Are we including Real Thing? Was that a maybe or was that a definite?
Real Thing was a maybe. We've actually only ended up with 3 Facelift songs.
Okay. Wow. All right. Yeah. Then just. But you have to remember, like, so my experience with Wood, if I remember right, did I have the single soundtrack? But was the single soundtrack out before Dirt?
Let me. Was it singles soundtrack?
Because I seem to remember Wood feeling like an opener because it's the first track on the singles soundtrack.
Oh, I suppose, yeah. Oh, so single soundtrack dropped on June 30th, 92, which predates Dirt.
Yeah. So my experience with that song was it was the first song on the single soundtrack, and then it was the last song on Dirt.
Okay, I have an idea. Should we?
Did we?
I feel like the two that need to start and finish this are Man in the Box and Wood.
Oh.
I feel like.
Why don't we could literally like end it with Man in the Box because Man in the Box is like the show closer forever. Like that's the last song they play normally, I believe.
Okay, so we're starting with Wood and we're closing with Man in the Box.
I can't remember if when I saw them recently, Melvin, you don't need to chew on those. I don't remember if they played that last or Rooster last, but if I remember right, there was a encore and they came back on stage and they played, I mean, Rooster and Man in the Box, I believe. But to be fair, this was William Duvall, so I wasn't that excited by it. At that point, I was like, well, I'm glad I saw them, but now I'd like to go home. Because like I said, like I love William Duvall. He's great singer. But I do not like it when he sings Layne's songs because most of the time they just don't sound that great to me.
Okay.
But yeah. But they did play some newer bangers. Like there's a song off of Rainier Fog, the most recent album, that's called So Far Under.
I love that fucking song.
They played that one, and once they get to that part with that riff, that part, and they sing, I was just like, oh, this sounds so fucking good.
Yeah.
So that's why it's kind of a bummer that they don't do tours where they just play the newer stuff because it sounds great.
Something we could do at some point is we could do a slashed and mashed of the 3 albums they've done.
4.
Is it? No, it's 3, right? Black gives way to blue. Devil put dinosaurs here.
You're right. It's only 3. Why was I thinking it was 4?
It's okay.
And at this point, I don't know if there's going to be any other new Alice in Chains because it seems like Jerry's been doing solo stuff, and I'm kind of a bad fan. I have to admit, I haven't really listened to either one of the last 2 Jerry Cantrell albums. I've heard they were good.
Need to check it out.
Yeah. But even like you go all the way back to like Boggy Depot and Degradation Trip, like I really like stuff on those, but I never want to listen to them. So I don't know what it is. I love Jerry; he's fucking great. But eventually, I'm going to do that. Eventually, I need to go back and give those albums the because I know a lot of people love the solo stuff he's doing now, and I'm like, okay, I mean, because really the Alice in Chains stuff now is just Jerry's solo stuff with William Duvall writing a few songs. So,
well, I was going to say actually, that could be a good cranked and ranked is we could do Jerry Cantrell solo stuff. That'd be a good excuse to deep dive him.
Yeah, because what is it? 5, 6 albums he's done solo now, or is it just or
I think it is, yeah.
So Boggy Depot, Degradation Trip, and then he did one.
Well, there's 2 Degradation Trips, isn't there? Part 1 and 2.
Oh, I always just thought that they were together. They were released
Oh, okay. I don't know.
I thought it was a double disc. That's the one that's got Rob Trujillo on bass and
Mike Borden.
Mike Borden on drums, man.
Yeah, it's killer.
Everything about that says I should love this, and I do. I like it a lot, but like, yeah, I can't. I don't find myself wanting to go listen to it.
Okay, so there's Buggy Depot, or Depot, Degradation Trip, and then there's Degradation Trip Volumes 1 and 2.
Okay.
That released. What is it? A double album. Bright, and then there's Brighton, and I Want Blood.
Oh, so he's just done the 4, technically.
Yeah. So if you were talking about Jerry Cantrell's solo stuff, you'd be right that there's 4 albums. Cool. Well,
we've moved off of the subject at hand though, which is Layne Staley, not Jerry Cantrell. But to be fair, I think that Layne Staley, Jerry Cantrell knew how to make Layne Staley shine. He was good at that, and so he's very important, obviously. But so
absolutely.
Let's go through the list one song at a time, and let's just try to be harsh, I guess, with them, because we gotta get rid of 6 songs.
Cool. I'm doing a lot of computer shit over here because I got
computer shit. I'm in. Okay. Hack the planet.
Hack the mainframe and link the uplink to the download. So I love that fucking. I love that scene from Kung Fury, that bit where they go Hacker Man.
Yeah,
so funny.
I did not know that they pretty much completely filmed the movie follow up to that.
Really?
And it's just they're having legal issues that are keeping it from being finished.
But I didn't know that.
But Arnold Schwarzenegger is in it. And
oh shit! What?
Yeah. So apparently, like all of the actual principal photography, like everything aside from like special effects and stuff, has been done, and now there's like a lawsuit that is looking like it's going to last for a long time, and they have no idea when it's ever going to come out. And I'm like,
Jesus,
who the fuck is the assholes with the fucking lawsuits? Like that is some lame ass shit. Because I love Kung Fury. So
I do as well.
That the movie is going to be great. Anyway,
that was an event in my life that came to define a whole era of my life. That
came out. I remember that came out around the time. It just reminds me of like that's when me and my kid's mom split up, and all of a sudden I was back. I was living in like a tiny apartment by myself and my kid, and that was around the time that I first saw that. And I was just like, this is fucking amazing because it's like so well done. And anyway, if you haven't seen Kung Fury, it's only like 30 minutes long, something like that.
It's a half-hour short film that you can watch for free on YouTube, and it's a complete parody of the 80s action movie. It's amazing. It's
super stylized and just a lot of fun just to watch. But anyway, I do love though back in the when you rewatch movies from like the 90s, especially when they hadn't gotten the terms all correct for all the internet stuff, and so there's stuff that people will say that you're like, that doesn't mean what they think it means.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny.
But hey, we were just learning. We were learning the internet. So I didn't get internet in my house until I think 1997. I had internet in my house. And even then, you had to dial up. It was dial up, and there wasn't a lot to do at first. Like, because I didn't have the patience to wait for a picture of a naked woman to load over like 30 minutes or whatever. So a lot of mine was just going to because like bands were starting to do websites all of a sudden. And I was like, ooh, I want to go look at their website. But even then it was like, okay, Metallica.com. Is it supposed to look like this? Is the whole thing? Is there what picture is this? It was a lot of that for me. But
I'm pretty sure the Space Jam website is still up and untouched from 1996. Let me look it up. Space Jam. No fucking way.
Is it still there?
Dude, seriously, I'm going to send you this shit right now. It is untouched. Hang on. I want your live reaction to this. Hang on. I'm going to send you the link right now.
Okay.
Holy goddamn. Look
Sorry,
at
guys.
this.
We're being derailed again by spacejam.com.
Are you ready?
Spacejam.com. Oh my God.
Look at that.
Hold on. Now, I mean, I'm looking at it on a phone, but for the people that are watching, that's what it looks like. Oh my
Dude,
God. Let's see if the links still work. Jam Central.
They still work.
Jam Central.
Dude,
1996.
Dude, go to the fucking what's it called? Soundtrack section. The album cover looks fucking brilliant. It's just
where do you get to that? Where is that?
Oh, it's
Lunar Tunes?
Lunar Tunes. Yeah.
Lunar Tunes. What the fuck? Movie soundtrack.
Bugs and Michael Jordan look very determined at you.
Yeah.
Man, what a soundtrack.
I don't even. So here's the thing. I don't think I've ever seen Space Jam.
You not seen Space Jam, dude?
No, dude. This was 1996. I was 18 years old. I was not interested in seeing Space Jam, which is weird because I did go see Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in the theater, and I believe I was also 18 when that came out. But
So you also didn't have a confused boner when Lola Bunny came on the screen?
No. I do love that it's still got
Neither
prices for the cassette version, $8.99 for the cassette of the soundtrack. So
I wonder how much that goes for now.
Seal, Coolio, Quad City DJs, R. Kelly, B Real, Busta Rhymes, Coolio, LL Cool J, and Method Man. Nice. D'Angelo, Monica, Salt and Pepper, Robin S., Barry White, and Chris Rock. All for One, R. Kelly, and there's two. We got two R. Kellys on here. Bugs Bunny. Oh, okay. I guess Bugs Bunny does a song in there. Anyway,
this is incredible.
Yeah, it's very. I do like though that they bothered because it had to have been updated in some way because it's optimized for phones.
Yeah,
because I don't have to scroll anywhere. It's all long, so I'm assuming they at least went back and went, you know what? Let's not change anything, but let's optimize it for that size and that shape. But yeah, in 96, yeah. So 96, what movies? 96 would have been Pulp Fiction, I believe. So that would have been the movie I was fucking crazy about in 96. But yeah. We haven't gotten there yet on 40 years ago, 30 years ago this month, those videos that I do, because we're not quite there yet. God, that means that next year it will be 30 years since I graduated high school.
Man.
Okay, where were we? So let's start going through the songs. And let's
now that the existential dread has set in.
Shit. Yeah, I was talking to my wife about that. I was like, my next milestone birthday is 50. So that's interesting.
Mine will be 30.
Yeah. I didn't feel when I turned 30 and when I turned 40, I didn't feel anything. It was just like whatever. But 50 is, I think, the first one where I'm like, oh, I'm fucking 50. Anyway, all right, let's read through the songs.
Okay, so far we've got Wood opening it and Man in the Box closing it.
Yeah, so those for sure are going on. We'll figure those things out.
Are we gonna go semi-chronologically, or are we just gonna fucking?
Why? Why do we need?
Exactly.
Yeah, we don't need to.
Cool. We also still need to cut out 6 of the songs.
Okay, so let's read through them and then think about if we could cut them or not.
Bleed the Freak, Love Hate Love, Rain When I Die, Rooster, Godsmack, Hate to Feel, Angry Chair, Wood. We've got Man in the Box and Wood. Okay. Rotten Apple, Nutshell, I Stay Away, Head Creeps Again, Goddamn, Wake Up, River of Deceit, I Don't Know Anything.
Okay. I feel like we shouldn't take anything away from Facelift because we already hacked that album up and we have 3 tracks. So let's go ahead and say those are going.
Okay.
Also, how many did we have from Tripod? Just 3 from that one as well?
3, yeah.
Leave those 2. Let's be critical with Dirt here.
Well, I think everything has 3 tracks apart from Dirt. Dirt has 6.
So
So,
let's
and in the interest of keeping it Layne's baby, we can't get rid of Hate to Feel or Angry Chair, right?
nope. I'd like
Nope.
to not
Yeah.
head creeps.
Yeah. So those are staying. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a little asterisk there to make sure
Okay.
that they don't get axed. Head creeps. Hate to Feel and Angry Chair. They are not going. So we're left with Rain When I Die, Rooster, Godsmack.
I want Rain When I Die to go.
You want Rain When I Die to go?
No, to go on it.
Oh, to go on it.
Like,
Okay,
it's
cool.
it's my favorite Layne performance.
Okay, excellent. I'm in agreement. So Rain When I Die is going in the list. I've got it slap bang right now between Wood and Man in the Box.
Okay, so
I can-
what's
I can-
left on Dirt now that we haven't moved over?
we have Rooster, Godsmack, Hate to Feel, Angry Chair.
Nope, Rooster, Godsmack, just Rooster and Godsmack. The other two.
Oh
are
yeah, so
going.
sorry. So Rooster and Godsmack.
I'm fine with getting rid of both of those, but if we had to choose, I almost feel like Godsmack should go and Rooster should stay because you are right about vocally.
Yeah. Let's get rid of Godsmack and put Rooster on it. So,
Yeah.
do we think Rooster should be on the album before Rainbow? Oh, hold on. Do we think Rooster would be a good penultimate track before Man in the Box?
Yes.
Okay. Rooster.
Yeah.
Cool. So we can put Rooster
Yeah, that's
as
a nice. That is a nice way to wrap it up. Once again, like their live shows, really.
yeah. Cool. So now we have the tracks we have left over at the minute are Bleed the Freak, Love Hate Love, Hate to Feel, Angry Chair, Rotten Apple, Nutshell.
No, not hate to feel like move those over.
Oh yeah, no, I mean as in I have
on the
those
track
here.
list. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going through. Yeah,
Okay.
I've put little asterisks there so that they're on there. Don't
Okay.
worry.
Okay.
They're not going fucking anywhere. I've got little stars next to them.
All right.
Rotten Apple, Nutshell, I Stay Away. Again, Goddamn, Head Creeps, Wake Up River of Deceit. I don't know anything.
I feel like we need to knock off one track from Jar of Flies and one track from Mad Season, but that's just me.
I agree, and I think the tracks, as much as I love them, they occupy a lot of real estate. Both of them are like 7 minutes. Rotten Apple and Wake Up,
Yeah.
as great as they are, I feel like the others do more in less time. So
I agree.
get rid of those two.
How many have we gotten rid of now? When you get rid of those,
We've got 15 songs total right now.
what we still have 15.
We have 15 tracks, including the ones we've already put on and the ones that aren't going anywhere. So right now it's Man in the Box, Bleed the Freak, Love Hate Love, Rain When I Die, Rooster, Hate to Feel, Angry Chair, Wood, Nutshell, I Stay Away, Head Creeps, again, Goddamn River, Deceit, I don't know anything.
Should we knock one off from Tripod?
I suppose, but it's gonna have to either be again or Goddamn.
I mean, my choice would be to get rid of Again, but I also really like that song, so I don't care either way.
I feel like we have a lot of haze already. We don't really have what Goddamn does. So should we get rid of Again?
Yep.
Cool, we got rid of
Do it.
Again.
Get rid of it.
Again and again. So we're down to 14 now. 14 total tracks.
Can we just call it there? I know you said 12, but that's this is rough.
I'm happy with doing a 14 track because it was the 90s, you know.
Yeah, that's just whittling down because if we did any more,
that's just being cruel.
I'd be because I would be like, well, we could get rid of Bleed the Freak, but you made some good points about that song.
Yeah, we can't exploit the freak, man. No way in
Yeah. So
hell, dude.
I just feel like if we got rid of anything else, we'd have to get rid of something off of Dirt, and that's
That's wrong.
blasphemy.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I'm happy with a 14 song track list because that is, load reload length. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
You know.
there's there are a whole lot of fucking 14 track albums around that time.
Okay, well in that case then, we have Bleed the Freak, Love Hate Love, Hate to Feel, Angry Chair, Nutshell, I Stay Away, Head Creeps, Gone Am, River of Deceit, I Don't Know Anything, still to figure out where they need to go.
Okay.
So as of right now, the songs I have in any order are Wood, Rain When I Die, Rooster, Man in the Box. So now
Okay.
we need to...
So I believe you and I are big fans of the second track on an album needs to keep the momentum going and if possible, bring the momentum up.
Yes.
So do we have a track that does that to go after Wood? Is there a...
Head Creeps. Yeah. It's got kind of a driving... They're all pretty slow.
Yeah, now that what did we do? So okay, so that's a song off Dirt at the beginning.
Should we have...
Let's just do the opposite, and let's do a Facelift track at the beginning. So let's just do Bleed the Freak as number 2.
So Would, Bleed the Freak, then Rain When I Die.
Oh, sure, yeah, that works.
Cool. Because Bleed the Freak does pick up, but it starts slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I like that.
Then maybe
cool.
after Rain When I Die, even though Rain When I Die is slow, it is heavy. So maybe we bring it down with either like Nutshell or River of Deceit for number 4. Because isn't number 4 like the prime ballad section?
Prime ballad position. So should we put Nutshell?
Yeah, I feel like River of Deceit would be good later on the album.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Cool.
let's put Nutshell there, and then let's bring it back. Maybe with Head Creeps after that, or what's the other one off of Tripod?
Goddamn. But
No,
Goddamn's slow as well.
I think Head Creeps would be good after Nutshell.
Cool. So as it stands right now, we've got Wood, Bleed the Freak, Rain When I Die, Nutshell, Head Creeps.
So we've already done 2 Dirt ones in there.
We haven't had any Mad Season yet. Do you want to put in...
Oh yeah, you're right. We do. We should do. I don't know anything.
I don't know anything. Relate to that.
Yeah.
Fuck. This is hard.
So okay. So so read to me what we have that isn't positioned. It doesn't have a slot yet.
Love, Hate to Feel, Angry Chair, I Stay Away, Goddamn, River of Deceit. I feel like we can't have River of Deceit too close to Rooster because it's quite downbeat.
Well, let's do. Let's go. Let's just go ahead. What song was? Did we just leave right there? What song?
I don't know anything.
I don't know anything. Jesus Christ.
Should we just have like a pocket of Mad Season right in the middle? Do you think the two would bounce off of each other quite well? Because
No,
we've got.
I don't feel good about that.
Nah, yeah, it does feel
But
like
we
a bit of a
we do
cop-out.
have those 2. Maybe we should follow it up because we do have like I don't know anything that quite possibly is a Layne composition. We should follow it up with a Layne composition from Dirt, maybe.
Ooh.
So follow that up with either Hate to Feel or Angry Chair.
I think Hate to Feel because it's got a different feel to it.
Yeah, put Hate to Feel there, and then I have an idea for later on in the album.
Okay.
So
cool.
I always really liked
We're on to side B, by the way. No.
Honestly, I don't have a problem with River of Deceit being before Rooster, because Rooster, even though it's a slower song, it's a big, heavy one. But I almost feel like it'd be cool to do Angry Chair, River of Deceit.
Ooh, okay.
And then Rooster. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so Angry Chair.
Because I always liked that in the original runtime of Dirt, that Angry Chair led into Down in a Hole. I always liked that song into a slow song. It always sounded cool to me.
Yeah, cool. So I've got that one there. I can blue those ones out.
So I almost feel like before Angry Chair, we can do. Well, what do we have left now in the middle? We have a middle to figure out.
We've got Love, Hate, Love, I Stay Away, and Goddamn, and I think it might be time to drop another Jar of Flies song in there.
So I Stay Away?
Yeah. I Stay Away. Cool.
And then Goddamn, and then Love, Hate, Love, which would Love, Hate, Love would go into Angry Chair, right?
Yeah. So I've got the track listing here.
All right, everybody, take notes if you want to put together your official slashed and mashed. Oh nope, I'm getting the finger. What?
Well, no, I'm just saying. I want to make sure that you're green lighting this.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Before it goes into production.
Before it goes into production, I want to make sure that this is 100%
okay.
What you want. So our final track list is Wood, Bleed the Freak, Rain When I Die, Nutshell, Head Creeps, I Don't Know Anything, Hate to Feel, I Stay Away, Goddamn, Love, Hate, Love, Angry Chair, River of Deceit, Rooster, Man in the Box.
I think that's good, right?
Yeah, I think that's cool.
That feels good. I feel like we covered all the releases except for Sap, but and we included the Layne Staley compositions, and we included the ones that we feel really showcases his abilities and his range, and some absolute fucking classic songs that are unfuckwithable. It's all represented in that. I think the interesting thing here is that the Tripod songs are deep cuts.
Yeah. But they're so good. That's the thing. Cool. Well, that wraps up fucking Best of Layne Slashed and Mashed.
Yeah. Wow. So I hope everybody wrote that down. That was the
yes. We have done it.
Oh shit!
That's the Slashed and Mashed version. Yeah, we did it.
I mean, really wanted to belt it that time. We can play that every time now, as far as I'm concerned. I have it here. We might as well do it.
No, I say let's raise some cane. Let's raise some
cane. Nice.
Yeah. So thank you for being here for raising. We raised a ruckus, we raised some hell, and we raised some cane. We raised some cane. There's a. You
got to say we raised some cane twice.
We raised some cane. There's a fried chicken place here called Raising Cane. Raising Cane's Chicken. Right now, being the spokesperson is Flavor Flav for that.
Nice.
But every time I see the sign for it, my brain immediately goes, "Let's raise some cane." My favorite part of that music video is there's a part close to the end where it slows down and it's like a soft part where it's like the jangly guitar and he's doing a little singing. And in the video, just some random person just walks through the frame in the background. They don't give a shit that they're filming a music video there. It's just like, oh, there's a person that just walked by. Anyway. Look that up too if you haven't. Look up Wally World. Raise some cane. They have other songs too, but who the fuck cares? Honestly. But that was it. That was our Layne Staley, our best of Slashed and Mashed, cracked and ranked, approved. Layne Staley best of, and as usual. I love hearing what everybody else's take is. So, and you can put your 14 tracks, or if you want to do your top 5 Layne Staley tracks, put them in the comments, and keep the conversation going. Because like I said earlier, I feel like Layne, as we're further and further away from having music with him on it, it's becoming even more clear how big of a loss that he was. I have a feeling that it's going to be even more so for Chris Cornell, because we haven't been that long since Chris Cornell. But I think give it a decade. It's going to become one of those things where you're just like, holy shit, there's this huge void in music, you know? Yeah. Yes, Sonny, I'm wrapping it up right now. Okay.
We're not far. Well, it passed about a week or so ago, but like, I remember exactly where I was when I found out.
Yeah.
About Chris Cornell, and I remember I was sat in the hallway on a free period, just like working on a song on a guitar, and my friend came around the corner and said, "Will, Eddie." Or this is before I was Eddie. And he goes, Chris Cornell died, dude. And we went, it was one of those, you pause, you kind of hang your head.
Yeah.
And you hear Nutshell playing in the background. And it's just like, it was just one of those moments where it was like, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I was pretty shocked when I heard that too. I just remember because I was at school when I was told that Kurt Cobain died, and I remember at that point, I didn't like people claiming that they knew me, and so I remember when somebody came up to me and they were like, you're gonna be sad because they just said that Kurt Cobain died, and I remember my reaction was like, I don't fucking care, and I left because I did not want to give them that moment. I don't even remember who it was that told me, but I didn't want to give them that moment of like, you don't fucking know me, you don't know that this is a thing that's gonna really bother me. But of course it did.
Yeah.
But I didn't want it to. I wanted to not care, but I really did and still do. But. Anyway, all right. So that leaving everything on a somber note. Everybody dies. Okay, it's like that line from that Flaming Lips song. Everyone you know someday will die. Great song, though. All right, okay, guys. All right, I'm wrapping it up. Okay.
He's like, bummer, dude. What the fuck?
Sonny's like, I'm still here, man. I'm still kicking it, and I'm alive. I think he's like 10 now. Sonny, he's the oldest dog in the house right now, but he's got a lot of energy. Anyway, okay. So that was it for Cranked, Slashed, and Mashed Layne Staley.
Yep.
Yeah, we're talking to the peanut butter platypuses, the aluminium squirrels, the Belvedere ball sitters, and the Christmas dogs and the old heads dogs. Are you guys Christmas dogs? No, they're not. Anyway, they're getting riled up. So it's look at this guy down here. Okay, I guess that means we need to go. So as usual, I'm going to throw it over to Mr. Eddie Sparxx to take us out.
Lay there, dude.
Thanks for listening.
Jesus, dude.
Bye, everyone.
Dude.
Okay, bye.
Dogs are barking.
All right, I'll just get everybody. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Later.
He was biting me.